to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come? All right, I'll do my own bits myself. Oh wait, no silence. We're doing it. Get off the road.
Hey, Dave. Oh, yeah, hold on. Hey, Dave. What is it called when a bunch of hens unseat the head of the hen house? A coup d'etat. Sorry, a chicken coup d'etat. My bad. Good job. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boater.
Dave, man.
And Dave solved it, so we're done. No. Welcome, everyone, tonight. We've got... I'm going to give a little bit of behind the scenes here. I was on the fence about coming in today. I've just kind of been very worn out, whatever. And then I looked at the gaming news and I was like, oh, I gotta be there. It's me and Dave, and we asked someone else to be on the show with us. He said, unfortunately, that he was very busy, but he was gracious about it. And after we asked him, he said,
what else can I help you with?
and so it's okay, Bobby Kotick. We'll get back to you later in the show.
Fuck you, Bobby!
Later in the show. But first, let's start off with the Twitch ban. It's gonna be a ride tonight, folks. I am exhausted, and I'm gonna do everything I can to be here and be present and everything like that.
But to cap it off, just firstly,
Yeah.
thank you very much to Thorntman, Rafe Wolf, and to Vladdy for getting us this story delivered to us on a silver platter.
Demon Dragon, are you able to hear Dave now? It's not muted. We're doing our audio checks and stuff right now. Dave's mic is not on. Mine apparently is. So yes, Dave did correctly guess the pronunciation a little bit off. A little bit. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Then Dave, you take the next verse. Steve is on it. We're not just sitting here diddling around. Steve is on trying to get our audio set up.
Thank you, Steve. Say something. Something?
Say something, I'm giving up on you. There will be no Citadel tonight, so we may go... we do this, and get this all sorted out.
Lost Boater.
Oh! Dave, how do you say I wish I knew sign language in sign language?
I don't have that one.
Okay. Boater's back, by the way.
Oh, my headset's not even powered on.
Is it just not plugged in? Yeah, there is no physical connection from the headset to the computer. That would be why everything was fine software-wise. Historically, we haven't had an issue with audio here on the Citadel like we have in the past with... here on Nerd Glasses like I have in the past with Citadel. Yeah, I am seeing the light there, so that should be set. Hey, yeah, and I'm seeing light on there now. Hooray! I think we found out where there was a break in the hardware line. Dave, say something else.
Check 1, 2. Check.
Anything but that.
Nothing.
This is weird. It's weird. Very weird. Well, I don't know if that's supposed to go out to the headset. Is that? Do you normally get us on the headset? You can hear me. Okay. So that is on. So it may not be a software issue. Nope, not yet. Okay. Do 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 do. So I'm going to keep talking into both mics. Normally we haven't had an issue with audio on Nerd Glasses, so I apologize to everyone. This looks super unprofessional. We haven't had this issue in the past, so I'm just going to talk into both mics until Steve sees that we're getting signal on two different mics. When he tells me to mute the first, pass this over. I don't know. We can do some sort of call and response. I absolutely can. I have muted my mic. Can you now hear me on? You can hear me. Fantastic. I'm going to pass this off to Dave.
Check 1 2. Check.
Boater, unmute yourself.
Yes. Thank you, Steve.
Now, Dave, repeat after me.
Firstly,
Thank you, Steve,
for helping.
Thank you, Steve. I'm sorry. I'm catching up. Hi, Dave.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, you did something because there wasn't audio and then there was.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We did the joke. Okay, you had people that you were thanking before I dove into Twitch chats.
Yes. So a special shout out, by the way, for our featured story being brought to us by Twitch.tv's own Thortman, Twitch.tv's own Rafe Wolf, and Vladdy. My brother, so he doesn't get any recompense and recognition.
You said Vladdy. No, thank you a lot, Vladdy, for making sure that we can see it as thoroughly as possible. Thank you, everyone, trying to bring it to our attention. Like I said, I was really worn out, not sure if I'd even be here today, and then I saw the news, and I was like, oh, I gotta be there. So, but we are going to get to that headliner later on. For now, Dave, would you like to hear about a Twitch ban?
I would love to hear about a Twitch ban. I would love to hear what people are learning from by doing and then potentially suffering consequences of, but then learning from it and growing as people and changing and why are you making that face?
Well, too bad, because Dr. Disrespect opened his fucking mouth again.
Oh.
This time he's going off about, he's boo-hooing about how EA doesn't have him as a publicity partner anymore, and he's crying that he wasn't involved with the Battlefield release. Battlefield, was it 2042?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't involved with that launch like he has been in the past because he was blacklisted from Twitch, and he's known for months why he's been banned, and he can't say it because there's legal proceedings. Like, shut up. We know that you are being hurt by this ban because you tested that assumption at your earliest convenience. We know. And the only way that he can get attention is by opening his mouth, and then all the, like, Dexteros, esports, all these, like, kind of, I'll say mid-grade outlets immediately like, oh my god, Dr. Disrespect said something. It gets clicks, it gets page views. And immediately report on it. And so, like, it was literally impossible for me to find anything else with Twitch bans between that and leftover stuff from news cycles in weeks past. So I don't know. I don't know who was banned from Twitch this week. We're just going to assume everyone was good little boys and girls and move on.
You know what, Dr. Disrespect? We hear you.
I wish we didn't.
But
What else can I help you with?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Bro, you got thrown off of everything. That's not our problem.
Can I say, so I, composed myself by the time that the shot came back, but I had quite the cackle while we were away for a second. Okay, so yeah, that's a Twitch ban. Is everyone was good little boys and girls and nobody got banned from Twitch. Dave, what's coming out the next week?
Well, I pulled 5 actually, and I feel a little bad because these trailer things are getting on the long side, and I do hope that our adventures, what's going on, Akai? We're just about to talk about things coming out in the next 7 days, but I want to add an addendum.
Okay. So we're gonna start with one from last week.
We're gonna start with
Oh, whoop. Nope. Sorry. Hold on. This one.
with
Okay. Sorry.
a
thought they were in
game
order.
that came out on last Friday.
あなたなら
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
真に人のための世界を作ってく
If
れ
you
ると
haven't
思う。
played a Shin Megami Tensei game
私は
before,
君に未来を
I
託すわ。
can't speak to the fact that 5 would be a good jumping point. Oh, by the way, we're jumping ahead of the fact that this is now being presented in Nerd Division.
東京を狙っている。ここ
I gotta
は
do the hands.
東京なのか。悪魔が徘徊する危険な場所だ。
That's the
今
clip.
は魔界と呼ばれている。君は意図せず巻き込まれてしまった。君だけでも死に抗えるよ。
But
私の力を全て託
I
すことを
overlooked
誓う。
this game, and then a friend of the
私たちは
program,
ナホビ
Sustina,
ノと呼ばれ
has
る
been
存在
playing
と
it
な。
since Friday,
こ
and
の体
my
であれば
own stream
悪魔
was
と
late
戦い
because I was
進む
watching
こと
him
ができ
play
る。
it on Friday,
だが
and I just
このまま一人
couldn't
で魔
tear
界を
myself
進むのは
away.
危険だ。
He's streaming it right
共に戦い
now,
仲間を
and I'm
作ることを
struggling
推奨。
because I'm gonna miss
悪魔会話を用い
plot,
て
and then I'm gonna
相
have
手を
to
説
ask
得し
him
仲間にしよう。
later or catch up on the
悪魔
thought.
と有利に戦う方法をレクチャーしよう。悪魔と戦う際、敵の弱点を突くとこちらの行動回数を増やすことができる。魔月比と呼ばれる霊力が最大に満ちた時、
Regardless of all the intent, this game came out last Friday.
強大な
It's
敵と対
released
峙し
to the
て
Switch.
有利に戦
It
うことが
looks
できるだろう。
phenomenal. These are the Switch graphics, by the way, that
仲
you
間
are
にした悪魔
seeing
同士を
on
合体さ
this.
せ、
It
新
looks
たな悪魔を
phenomenal.
生み出すことが可能
It's
だ。
a very big, very complicated
また
turn-based
悪魔から入手した
JRPG.
うつ
So
み
the
を
thing
使
with,
い、
like you say, Switch
仲間
graphics,
の
and
ス
a
キル
lot
で
of times,
君自
like
身の
stuff
相性
on
を変
Switch
化できる。
doesn't look as good as it does
さ
on
らに
other consoles.
ダート
But
各
like
地に
on
点
its
在する
own,
ミー
it
ツ
still
を
looks
集
great,
めれば
especially stuff that
特
is
殊な技
developed
カムイを
for
習得可能だ
the。Switch as opposed
君
to
自身
ported
と
to the Switch.
仲間の
Like
戦力を
stuff
強
that's
化して
developed on the Switch
悪魔た
itself
ちとの
looks
戦
great,
いに
uses it
臨む
really
ことを
well.
推
I'm
奨。
sorry, please continue.
No, I just... So, again, all the graphics, all the visuals you're seeing, things like that, this game is a ride from the second it starts until I assume the second it ends. And there's a reason that Atlas has been able to do so much with the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, and then so much with characters and ideas and execution that is so strange. I mean, if I had more time on my schedule, I would be buying this game. But instead, I'll be watching my friends stream. Thank you, Sus.
Okay.
So, coming out today, actually, Boater, is an interesting title, and it's in the Sherlock Holmes franchise. Not the one with Benedict Cumberbatch,
Okay.
and not the one with Tony Stark himself, but rather a game by our friends at Frogwares. You may remember them because they were the ones that created the game Sinking City, and then had all that issue with their game being published, but then them not getting any of the residuals for it on previous episodes of Nerd Glasses.
See, you say that. That sounds super familiar. I don't remember any proper nouns, but unfortunately, that is a story that repeats a lot in the indie game industry.
Yes,
But yes,
it
okay,
really
so that was
does.
one that we mentioned by name when we were covering that. Got it.
So, Frogwares themselves, this game is not only developed by them, but it's also being self-published by them.
Oh, good.
It is maybe the 10th Sherlock Holmes game that they have made in this style.
Okay.
And I may buy it on the simple fact that Frogwares is publishing it themselves. Also because this is sort of a Sherlock Holmes origin story. Of when Sherlock Holmes was a young man and a junior detective, and coming into his own, apparently in this world, his mother was murdered, and he has to visit. He has to visit this island where she was residing when she was killed, to figure out who done it. And I mean, the plot enough gets my attention,
Okay.
gets my goat,
Cool.
and it's available for all major platforms.
Really? Self-published and on? Okay. Interesting. Usually you don't see something with a release outside of Steam until they've got a bigger publisher in their pocket. At least something like mid-size.
Yeah.
Like I remember covering Grip when it was in early access and such, and then they got a big publisher, and hey, guess what? Now we're coming to consoles. And you see that a lot with like Kickstarted stuff. So really cool that they're self-publishing and still able to get it out on everything.
Well,
and hopefully they don't run afoul of a lot of the stuff that we've covered in the past about indie devs trying to get their stuff, especially on PlayStation, but not great on others as well.
So Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1.
Cool.
Enjoy it, like it, and it's literally like everything.
Everything, yeah. Hold up. Can we check our pulse? Oh, that went away.
Wait, you know what? We will pull it up. Hold the pulse. Steve, the pulse. Oh! Not a Stadia game. Not a Stadia game. We need to get someone to the house of Stadia to make sure that it's okay.
Yep.
And still alive. We'll have someone on that shortly.
Where are we headed next?
Well, we're headed to, is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday.
Thursday the 1/8th?
Yes, it is going to be Thursday. Now, this one, take it in for a minute, actually. Take it in breathe it in, man.
While you do that, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Dave, this looks familiar, and not in a like last week when you were like, Dave, this is the trailer from 10 years ago for Skyrim. I'm saying this looks familiar.
It should. But you'll notice on this itself, presented by Radiohead and Epic Games Publishing. It's a free download, which is odd, but the Kid Amnesia exhibition.
Okay, yep.
It just didn't come out. It didn't come out. And it got delayed.
Okay.
And apparently Thursday is when this shaboggle is going to be releasing for us. Okay. But damn, this new trailer that they released makes me want it more. And so I have it tagged on my PlayStation account where it'll come to us when it comes to us.
Yep.
And
so there was no reason given that it was delayed?
COVID-19 reasons.
Okay, usually you get that a little bit ahead of time, like how Battlefield was delayed to this past week because of that, but we knew that further ahead of time. Okay, so we'll see.
And so I'm looking forward to this. I probably won't stream it because I'm willing to bet it's full of licensed music.
Yeah, that's going to be really rough unless they specifically say that it's safe to stream. Like it is.
Yeah.
It is about the music.
But we might do a Discord tour of it then.
Oh, that'd be fun. Like a Discord channel.
Yeah.
Thing.
Because they haven't yet figured out how to cancel people on Discord. But the next game we're talking about is one that, Boater, it's not in your and mine playhouse.
Okay.
And I didn't have Steve pull the trailer for it because I didn't care enough. Oh my god!
So we're coming back out of Nerd Vision.
So this Friday, as you can tell, I'm usually a Call of Duty player because what would be displaying on Nerd Vision would be the trailer for Battlefield 20.
I mean, for that matter, we didn't.
2042.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be bothered to pull that trailer up because I'm not playing it, but you probably will. And here's a couple reasons why you should. It is focusing solely on multiplayer. There is no single player campaign on it. They're cutting out the middleman. A lot of people, are a fan of gimmicks, not a fan of gimmicks. All these things going on. It is going to be cross-platform. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, PC. And then I'm going to group in a different grouping PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. And the reason for that is they're grouping them in separate lobbies.
Okay.
So they're cross-platform, but not fully. They also added a feature called Battlefield Portal, where the players will be able to make their own game modes in a battlefield.
Yeah, which players have already been turning into XP farms because a lot of stuff is hidden behind XP progression.
Yep.
Which there's a lot of discourse about, and players are making XP farm maps, and then people load into those lobbies, and the player slots are full, so they load in only having a knife, and don't realize that they are, as many outlets creatively called them, the crops.
Hilarious. See, that I would play.
There's been a lot of negative stuff said about it, because, yes, the game comes out later this week, but for those that pre-ordered the game, they've already been able to play it. It started yesterday.
Yep.
And there's been already a lot of negativity about it, less weapon variety, stuff like that. So, it's been a thing.
This game coming out on all major platforms, but not Stadia, this Friday. And last but not least, Boater, could you cue up Nerd Vision one more time? Nerd Vision! A return to Generation 8, the Sinnoh region. A redesign that makes for interesting play and a very unique player experience.
To embark on a thrilling Pokemon adventure.
This game is actually the first main story Pokemon game not to be handled by the Pokemon Company.
So this is
by Game Freak. It's developed by a company that they were hired out to.
So this is one of those games where they like redid, it's like Fire Red, Leaf Green kind of thing, where they are re-releasing a previous one and updating it to a newer,
rich and colorful landscape.
Yes. So I think I'm okay with that.
Battle and trade.
Because it's
incredible
not making
Pokemon.
an all-new game that's supposed to go
and
into
don't
there.
miss out on an epic experience coming for the first time to Nintendo
and we've seen
Switch.
remasters do very well when they're not developed by the original developers. I'm fine with that.
Find yourself in the Sinnoh
interested
region.
in it. Because
in Pokemon
that,
Brilliant Diamond
Game Freak
and
is focusing
Pokemon
on
Shining
Arceus,
Pearl.
which I want way more
November 19th.
Than
Rated E for
Pokemon
everyone.
Brilliant Diamond,
Only on Nintendo Switch.
Shining Pearl, Steve. Or, so it'll be interesting if you grew up with Diamond and Pearl. This will probably do it for you. You'll probably have a great time with it, and you should.
I want to say that that's the generation that my favorite Pokemon was brought in.
Which Pokemon?
Amora. It was, I think, a fossil Pokemon. It's like a Brontosaurus kind of.
Explore a rich and
6.
colorful
All right, thank you.
landscape.
So 2 games ago.
Okay.
And
Battle
I'm
and
not
trade.
gonna lie,
Incredible
Diamond
Pokemon.
and Pearl was Gen 6.
And don't miss out on an epic experience coming for the first time
You said
to
8
Nintendo
it's
Switch.
the 8th installment of Pokemon games, isn't it?
Find yourself
No,
in the
the
Sinnoh
remaster
region.
now.
Well, no, that doesn't count.
In Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Available November 19th. Rated E for everyone. Only on Nintendo.
Well,
It's-
to be
again, it's
totally
like how
honest, I
Leaf-
couldn't give a hat about
Leaf Green and Fire Red were Gen 1 remakes.
Brilliant
so.
Diamond, Shining Pearl, because you probably don't have my favorite Pokemons, do you?
In that,
You don't have
in that
Coffin,
case,
don't
this
have
was
Geodude.
The
I'm
first
not playing.
Pokemon, the first Pokemon game that I played was Diamond. But
Get
it's not the
ready
one that I mentioned.
to embark on
Really?
a thrilling Pokemon adventure.
On DS, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My first Pokemon game was Red, so
Okay. Yeah.
an
No.
old fart.
I got into it somewhat late.
Explore
I
a
did that,
rich
and
and
then
colorful
Steve, what was yours?
landscape.
This is
Okay.
I'm
Also
outnumbered
Diamond
here.
Catch,
I'm an
battle
old
and
fart
trade.
among the.
Incredible
Well, I mean, it's
Pokemon.
also like what.
And don't miss out on an epic
first off,
experience
Steve is a bit
coming for
younger
the
than us, that's
first
fine.
time to Nintendo Switch.
But like for my part, I didn't really have like handheld consoles aside from Tiger Electronics things.
Find yourself in
The
the
same
Sinnoh
X-wing
region.
flying among TIE fighters
In
on the
Pokemon
64
Brilliant
segment
Diamond
display.
and Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Well, as
Available
Judicrous just put in
November
chat,
19th.
Coughing and Geoduder in the Sinnoh
Rated
region.
E for
I'm
everyone.
back on board,
Only
baby.
on
Hooray!
Nintendo Switch.
Sign me up on Friday.
My first Pokemon was Yellow, says Demon Dragon, which is first gen, sorta, kinda. I mean, it was first gen, but it was the like, oh, the anime is out and really popular, so let's give people a Pikachu starter for first gen.
Yeah, and it was also the first one where you can
Get
have
ready
a little sprite
to
follow
embark
you
on
around.
a thrilling
change what your top
Pokemon
was,
adventure.
and it would follow you. It was great. Scaling didn't work though. My Onix I shouldn't be able to fully cover up my Onix by standing in front of it.
All right, what's next? It's
Explore
7:30 and we're
a
still looking at
rich
trailers,
and
Dave.
colorful
That's all the
landscape.
games that are coming out in the next 7 days. And by God,
Catch,
if you have any
battle, and
games that you're
trade
looking forward to,
incredible
things like that,
Pokemon.
definitely let us know.
And don't miss
Well, we're
out
still
on an
in third
epic
vision.
experience coming for the first time
So
to
actually, no,
Nintendo
we'll
Switch.
come back to that. We'll go with that soon, though. We'll get to the big one in a bit. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the release of the original Xbox.
Oh.
And so, among other things to celebrate, they released the multiplayer of Halo Infinite early. And so I guess I didn't get the chance to watch it, but I guess Dan threw down the gauntlet for a Halo Infinite kind of tournament here at the store, at the network, to see who comes out on top. And well, I had my fare of talking shit in Halo and getting my ass handed to me by Tom, so I know how I'm going to fare in that. I hold no illusions. But yeah, they kind of celebrated everything Xbox. You know, it's been 20 years. The Xbox was my first modern day console. Before that, the only console that I could be said to have owned or my family owned was an Intellivision. This is before it got into creepy NFT and everything like that. And among other things coming out was a teaser, not a trailer, but a teaser for the Halo series on Paramount Plus. Which is also like I've seen a lot of stuff where Paramount Plus is really trying to push itself, and I think it's a bit of a coup for them that this is coming to there. Not to be confused with a coup. That's just like a 30-second thing. We don't need to see that again and again and again on loop. But yeah, so I mean, it's a teaser. It's someone getting into Mjolnir armor and ready to go. But we've seen some live action Halo movies at this point. I really enjoyed Forward Unto Dawn. I think that was really well done. So I'm interested, and I don't have Paramount Plus, so I will wait and see what the reviews are when that finally comes out. And then I'll probably get it for the duration of the show and then cancel it again, like a lot of people do with Disney Plus, unless they keep coming out with stuff to hold my interest like Disney Plus does. So we'll see. Like, there's been so many live action attempts at Halo, and then there was like the really long live action trailers for Halo 3. There was a short film, and then Forward Unto Dawn was amazing. It didn't focus on the Chief, although he was a character. And I think that works really well for ancillary things, but this, considering it's him suiting up, looks like it's going to focus on him, so we'll see how it goes. There's too many services nowadays. Yeah, it's very much have your cable a la carte instead of it all being. It's like, oh man, I'm paying $80 for cable. Let me drop that and pay $10 for Netflix and $10 for Hulu and $12 for Disney Plus and $15 for Paramount Plus and $10
for HBO.
Oh no!
So the goal basically is to not have that moment where you sign up for another service and you just hear dun 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 wah. Welcome, Love Alec, by the way. And Demon Dragon posted in chat something that caught my attention because I said that this would be the thing that would get me into League of Legends. Quietly, with no announcement, Riot Games released Ruined King for the PS4, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, Steam, Epic Games, and GoodOldGames.com. What the F?
Wow.
I want to play that game, and now I have less time. Like,
Welcome to the holidays. You can't get anything done because here's all the things. Wow. Yeah, we are getting into the season.
I'm so angry about that because I was so excited about the idea that there was going to be a League of Legends like story-driven thing. So thanks a lot, Riot Games, for ruining the gimmick. But we do appreciate that you released it on a Tuesday so we could cover it here live on Nerd Glasses.
I'm hearing a lot of really good things about Arcane on Netflix. They're releasing in chunks. I think like 3-episode chunks, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Act 2 came out this past weekend. Act 3 comes out this weekend. Steph watched Act 1. I definitely do want to watch it, so probably when Act 3 comes out this weekend, we're just going to binge and watch all the way through, and I can talk about it next week. So, and Demon Dragon saying that, right? At least Arcane on Netflix, which is pretty good from what I've seen of it so far. Yeah, I've actually, especially after Act 2 came out, I saw some like really favorable coverage about it. It was the nice hyperbolic Arcane is the best thing on Netflix right now, etc., etc. But hey, that's promising. I'll definitely check it out.
It might be.
And also, like, very much, you do not need to play or be overly familiar with the lore of League of Legends in order to enjoy it. So, art style looks great. So, can't wait. Hey, let's talk more news. Dave, do you want to go into the big one, or do you want to work our way up to it?
Let's work our way into talking about
lead
Bobby.
On this one. Yeah, so we'll get to Bobby soon. Mr. Kotick, thank you very much for your patience. We're going to need you to hold on just another minute.
What else can I help you with?
You're doing great. Just be patient. But first, what have we got?
Well, remember last week when we talked about new releases, and I talked about how on Friday was going to be a big day for remasters, and the Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition was coming out?
Yep.
Well, did you know that less than 24 hours later it was taken down and it was unavailable for people to play?
Yep.
And the things that I had for this, the notes I had on this...
Did you know it was down for almost 36 hours?
I did not know the specific duration of it.
I want to say 36. I could be wrong on that one, but it was down for a long time.
But did you know that refunds for it being down for more than 24 hours, provably, after only being out for 24 hours, were through Rockstar's support ticket system? So you had to put in an IT ticket to apply for a refund to be able to get refunded for the game, which means that you probably didn't get a refund thus far in the game's backup.
Well, I mean, that's okay, right? Because even if that's not working, you could still go and buy like an older version of the game that could... Oh, wait, no, they delisted every single older version of the game.
They removed it, Boater, because they had to remove files unintentionally included in the 3 versions. Each of the 3 games had just oversight issues where they just didn't check and they sent it out with stuff.
Yeah, people might recall, I believe it was San Andreas, where there was a particular piece of code and a particular scene in the game that was...
You mean a 2009 Take-Two Interactive $20 million cup of a hot coffee, do you not?
I, in fact, do. Raise your hand if you remember the name Jack Thompson. That's a blast from the past.
Steve didn't put his hand up, by the way.
Nope. Back in the day, I heard a decent parody of "Hey There, Delilah" that was "Hey, Mr. Thompson," and it was just taking him to task for it. Anyway, yeah. So like that code that had to be deleted from the game to be remastered to be sent back out on PS2 because the original version, although printed with an M rating, was retroactively changed to adults only because that code was in there. Even if it was commented out, it was easy via like Game Sharks or whatever to re-enable it. That code had to be totally removed. And that code is back in the Definitive Edition. It's just they went back and were like, yeah, here's all the code. Here, take it. Have fun.
Damn! My God! Have you learned nothing?
There's also like it includes references to music tracks that are no longer in the game due to licensing. There's like references to whatever .ogg. It's just commented out rather than being fully removed. So because who cares about hard drive space? Just keep all the code in there. What the fuck? Who cares? Um, And the really frustrating thing is that like when it's working, the definitive edition looks pretty good. Like it's still got some jank to it.
Well,
there
yeah.
was a really great Twitter thread I saw today where a really old bug is rediscovered. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, in the definitive edition, it's so buggy that here you are wiggling side to side and your card gets bigger." And someone's like, actually, that bug is in the original game and involves this other whole series of bugs and hacks that you can do by enabling a taxi mission, whatever. But it's just like got a lot of that same stuff in there. And that's fine. If it's a pre-existing bug, that's fine. Don't bother trying to fix it. Keep some of that. But it's just weird. And I mentioned last week how I had tabled topics for Take-Two Interactive sending DMCA takedowns to mods.
Oh.
All summer, they have been shutting down mod projects left and right that took these games and brought them up to the standards of GTA 4 or GTA 5. Taking all of these and putting them into the GTA 5 engine, or just going through and adding a bunch of shaders that are going to make things work better. And they've been shutting down all of these mods that are like big total conversions. And the reaction of a lot of people is like, you take away all of that good stuff, the hard work that people have put a decade of their life into as these games have been out, and you give us this? This wasn't worth it. Like, the definitive edition is good, don't get me wrong, and if you've never played any of the GTA 3 games, then this is a great way to get into them. But the reason that GTA 3 is still interesting to people and San Andreas and Vice City is because of the ongoing mod support that has kept those games alive. And so without that, I mean, they sent more DMCA takedowns this past week to a mod that had a game that was only released on the Game Boy Advance, modding that into something that you could play on PC. They took that down. They sent a DMCA takedown to a GTA 4 mod, so we kind of know where they're looking next.
Huh.
There are publishers that do really well with their mod community. Valve especially is like, yeah, whatever, make the mods. Here's a formal way to do this. Just here's a few things that you can't do with mods. And we have this pre-existing understanding that, don't infringe on our copyrights by doing this and selling and whatever. But just go for it. We might hire you to publish your game from us, or to have you make a new game for us. Looking at you, Counter-Strike. Looking at you, Portal. Looking at you, Team Fortress Classic. All that. And then there's Take-Two Interactive just being like, no, you can't have fun stuff.
You've modified the product from its original state, you monster!
The first-person rear view of CJ riding a bike still haunts my dreams.
It really does. It really, really does. You know, Boater, that particular day, we also discussed another remaster coming out.
Yes, did
and
we?
there was a bit of news about that one this week.
Oh, do tell.
From literally the other side of video game spectruming. The Skyrim Anniversary Edition is crashing because it's too efficient for its own engines.
I'm sorry, what? I heard nothing of... No, normally, we screen these past each other.
Yep.
I have a passing familiarity. I've heard about it in the lead-up. I haven't... What?
So, remember how the Skyrim has mods that you can plug in?
Remember how the Skyrim has mods? Yes.
Okay.
I remember how the Skyrim, Dad.
The Skyrim had mods that were probably created between 2015 and 2019.
Yeah.
When it boots up in the speed that it does. It reads the code. It does these things.
Uh-huh.
Well, the problem is they're using a compiler from 2019 to load code from 2015.
Okay.
And some of it fan-made code. So what happens is some of the code can't keep up with the new compiler. So as it's loading everything else, it throws in nil for the stuff it can't keep up with. So some people are loading up the game and it's coming in as a black screen, but you can hear everything. You can feel the game moving and things like that. Because
Is this
it's
just people that have mods, or is this like
it's yeah.
Okay.
It's running too efficiently for the mods.
Right, okay, yes, because the reason to bring it up 2015 is because that's not when Skyrim came out, but like how we're talking that this Anniversary Edition, was it? Is an upgrade of a previous version that came out on PC, and we're talking mods that were running on that version.
Yep.
And so this being the same code base should fold in those mods seamlessly. But as someone who has done PC gaming a lot knows, whenever there's an update, you have to be ready for mods to break. I can't play my save game of American Truck Simulator anymore because my custom mod for Press Enter Productions trailers breaks the game because they changed how trailers, skins, and stuff load in. I'd still want to go back to it. I just need to make a new profile.
So how funny that the two games are having literal opposite experiences of
mod trouble.
They literally
and like Bethesda is really good about mods and allowing mods and just being like, yeah, whatever, don't mess with the source code of the game, otherwise have fun and mod at your own risk. And that's what's happening here. Mod at your own risk. Corrupted save game files, probably, whatever. It is what it is. Shall we get to the elephant in the room?
What else can I help you with?
Yeah, Bobby. I think we're gonna get to the elephant in the room. Do you want to come out and say it? Just your big happy. Do you want to say that and get that out of your system? Again? I mean, you've said it already.
I did say it already, and you know what though? We're gonna. You know what though, Boater? Bobby, you're off the Christmas card list, bro.
Yep.
You're off the guest list. You're not allowed to be on Nerd Glasses anymore. All right. You uninvited. All right.
What else can I help you with?
You can sit right there and we'll tell you why, Bobby. It's okay. So, Bobby, can I call you Bobby? Bobby. There was a great big report in the Wall Street Journal that came out yesterday?
Today.
Sometime in the last 24 hours. So today, yeah. That looks really bad for CEO of Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick. There's a bit to go through. Dave, do you want to lead our way through this forest of knowledge, or do you want me to?
I'm just so pissed about it. I honestly stopped taking notes.
Yeah.
And just wrote, "Fuck you, Bobby."
The report opens with a story of an employee. Okay, content warning of sexual mistreatment and rape. Content warning. The report opened with a story from an employee of Sledgehammer Games, which is one of the companies owned by Activision, where she had reported to the company that she had been raped by her supervisor, head of the studio.
Someone in a supervisory
someone
position.
in a supervisory position over her in the company. And then the Activision and Bobby Kotick knew about it and made the problem go away. And throughout this report, there's a lot of that. And up to now, there has been a lot of back and forth over how culpable is Bobby Kotick himself. How much, if this stuff is going on in the levels underneath him, even if he had nothing to do with it, he should have known. How much did he know? Or how bad was the system where it didn't come to his attention with all this stuff going on? And this report says he knew. going back to some older stories where there was he harassed an assistant by voicemail in 2006, threatening to kill her in the voicemail. He settled out of court, and a Activision Blizzard representative told the Wall Street Journal that Kotick had, quote, quickly apologized 16 years ago for the obviously hyperbolic and inappropriate voicemail. Thank you for saying obviously hyperbolic, because it doesn't matter how much of a hyperbole, it's still threatening. And that he, quote, deeply regrets the exaggeration in tone in his voicemail to this day. In 2007, he was accused of firing a flight attendant on his private jet. Private jets shouldn't exist because climate and people shouldn't be that rich. That's me saying that. It's not Wall Street Journal. She reported to Kotick that Kotick's pilot had sexually harassed her, and Kotick reportedly took the pilot's side, and as it went to court, told her and her lawyers, "I'm going to destroy you." He denies that this happened through a spokesperson. That also was eventually settled out of court for $200,000. And there's a pattern of that, of settling out of court, of not letting it go to trial, where there's just a bunch of, so many allegations. And according to this Wall Street Journal report, Kotick knew. Kotick knew, and many times was culpable in the mistreatment of particularly female employees working for him. There's a lot in this report. First of all, I didn't get the chance to read it thoroughly. I read secondhand reports of it because, unfortunately, Wall Street Journal is behind a paywall and I do not subscribe. I was sent some screenshots by someone that was very helpful in helping me put together my coverage. So I didn't get the chance to read through all of it, but in skimming through, of course, the Wall Street Journal takes it from a business perspective of oh, well, what did the board say and what was said to the board? And Kotick had told the board, look, yes, there are some culture issues, but they were just confined to Blizzard. The rest of the company is clean. And, well, Sledgehammer isn't part of Blizzard. There's plenty of other parts where, he knew problems and wasn't telling the board of directors and the shareholders and people with monetary influence, because again, that's the angle that Wall Street Journal takes, but it's still absolutely damning stuff.
So, do you want to know what Blizzard's response to the Wall Street Journal article was?
Aside from, I know that they said some stuff along the lines of how stuff was taken out of context, or that it was, allegations and hyperbole, and pretty much saying no. But specifically, I don't recall.
So they responded to all the media outlets to let people know, because the employees had staged, as of 4 o'clock our time,
yes,
a walkout.
As of 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, a better ABK urged another walkout. A lot of employees walking out of the offices.
So they responded with, "We are disappointed in the Wall Street Journal's report, which presents a misleading view of Activision Blizzard and our CEO. Instances of sexual misconduct that were brought to his attention were acted upon.
By paying someone to shut up about it and not be public." Sorry, that wasn't part of the
Wall Street Journal ignores important changes underway to make this industry's most welcoming and inclusive workplace, and it fails to account for the efforts of thousands of employees who work hard every day to live up to their and our values. The constant desire to be better has always set this company apart, which is why, at Mr. Kotick's direction, we have made significant improvements, including a zero-tolerance policy for inappropriate conduct, why we are moving forward with unwavering focus, speed, and resources to continue increasing diversity from across our company and industry to ensure our company... they're ignoring the fact that these are things that have happened and are talking about the look what we're doing over here now.
Yeah, and
you're not talking about this now.
Part of that statement makes it seem like that's something that they've been doing for years, and no, I mean a lot of that is just in the past week, like a zero tolerance policy now doesn't help content warning suicide. An employee who where a revealing picture of her was shared around the company and she ended up taking her own life from it. Like that stuff still exists. That stuff still happened and was attempted to be covered up. And that's one that was known about for a while, but like it just saying, "Oh, but as of last week we're going to start doing better." And part of their, "Oh, well, maybe it's they've been trying to be better ever since like this really blew up in the summer." And the head of Blizzard left, and it was replaced by two co-heads, one of whom, Jenna O'Neill, we reported last week, decided to step down and offered a statement that was very happy and optimistic and whatever. According to emails obtained by Wall Street Journal, she left because she felt, quote, tokenized, marginalized, and discriminated against. She is an Asian American, she is homosexual, and she, in taking this co-lead thing with Mikey Barra at the head of Blizzard, they should be equal co-heads, and she was being paid less. Like, come on! It's not that hard to be like, look, we're doing good, and to pay the same amount, and to work with her to try to make change happen, but it's pretty much exactly what I theorized and passed on theorizing that I read from others last week, and that she wanted to do something with the leadership position, and she was turned into, she was marginalized, she was discriminated against, and she was turned into a token head female rather than actually being able to do anything. Which, doesn't happen without Bobby Kotick looking at it and saying, yes, let's pay her less. That sounds good.
Or at the very least, with all of the things that we've been talking about in the last couple of months and all the things we outlined on these plans, there should have been a couple red flags when you have two people in the same position attempting to lead a particular part of the company and their pay is of noticeable difference.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in a Fortune 500 company, you get certain merits for having certain things.
Yeah, like
accreditations, things like that. But this was more than that.
Seniority usually does count for a lot. I think Ibarra was with the company a lot longer. Among other things, Jen O'Neill came from Vicarious Visions, which was owned by Activision, but not part of. It was kind of the thing, so he had seniority, whatever. But you put two people in charge and give them equal responsibility, they should be making an equal amount of money.
Or at least a comparable amount of money.
Especially when the public eye is on you with a fucking fine-tooth comb.
And you're trying to use this pairing of people as an example of what you're going to be doing
Look, we can do so much better, and yet you're still fucking up the most basic part of it.
3:21 Eastern Standard Time, Activision Blizzard's board of directors had this to say. The board remains confident that Bobby Kotick appropriately addressed the workplace issues brought to his attention.
Until the moment that the board decides that they want to get rid of him, they will at least publicly stay in line behind him. Now, Bobby, I need you to hold on to this. There is a request being made of you.
What else can I help you with?
Get your ass fucking fired. Because as much as a better ABK has been making demands of the company and everything like that, Kotick's job has not been a talking point, a major pain point, up until now. After this report came out, a better ABK is officially calling for Kotick's termination from the company. I think it's hashtag Fire Kotick or Fire Bobby or something like that. I forget the exact hashtag. It's one of those. That is now an official union, not union, worker group demand that he no longer be at the head of the company. And good on you. That's I would say it's been measured that they've been able to go this long without calling for that, and saying there are things that you can do to make it right.
Well, and the other half was
But now that this is out, this is the time.
playing pretty good office politics when the ship's on fire. It's at a 45-degree angle, and you're at the helm of it going, well, we're going to right the ship. We're going to do these good things,
Mhm.
this and that and the other. But we're not going to talk about my problems or the things that I may have done or what I could do to be different. We're going to talk about this person and that person's fired and these people are going to be fired and this is going to be termination. We're going to change restrictions on these things. We're going to do the other. But because of the way Activision Blizzard is positioned, there's the board of directors, yes, and they do oversee Bobby's position and they do oversee his paycheck and things like that. But Fortune 500 companies are a boys club. You can't in a boys club. You can't eat one of your own because otherwise the whole system falls apart.
Yeah.
What's the point in playing powerful if everybody doesn't also nod with you?
Yeah,
It's
until the
pathetic.
moment that one of them needs to be released to the Sharks, they will all fall in line. Just because I like metaphors so much, you did the whole like captain of the ship is sinking, whatever. Like it's one thing to be like, the captain is the guy that said we should store the lit torches next to the barrels of black powder, but at the same time we're sinking, and captain, we need you to help right the ship. And he's in a position to do that. He's at the helm, spinning the wheel around, parrot on his shoulder, going, calling out the lines that you kept forgetting in your thing. But it's another thing when you see the captain lighting another powder keg up, and then you're like, all right, this asshole's got to go. It's kind of what was happening. It's like, okay, you got us. There's a difference between you got us in this mess, now get us out of it, and you are part of the problem. And this report by the Wall Street Journal very much showed definitively, again, if a lot of it is allegations and such like that, taking it at face value, it shows Bobby is part of the problem. Bobby's got to go.
There's so much more to this, and it continues. Activision Blizzard for the last 4 months can't seem to just step out of its own way. And like it seems like as a company they just keep going, well, worst of it's over. Now it's just a matter of the news cycle to move on. What do you mean they found more?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That's exactly. They're like, oh man, so glad we got past that. You didn't do anything. No, it's fine. We got past it. Oh no, there's more. Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. That's exactly it. Demon Dragon says until the stock starts to tank, they won't do shit. And again,
it actually dropped $10.
Well,
as of press time.
How much percent is that? $10 out of like a $200 stock? Is that $10 out of a $100 stock? But like when we talked last week about how player ship is down 20%, 20 something, 23%. And yes, there's a lot of factors for it. Like I talked about last week on the Nerd Glasses podcast. Make sure that you watch the VOD right here on Twitch or check it out at YouTube. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Something's trying to come up. What Mr. Mod Josh, thank you very much for the lurk. Yeah, like the game playership is down, and that could be an early sign that the stock value is weird because it's not always a direct reflection of how much money a company has, how much it can make, etc. Like the stock market is a different kind of fake money than cryptocurrency, but it's still kind of fake money. But it is money that the board of directors and obviously the shareholders and such are all very concerned with. And when that fake money starts talking, stuff happens.
It dropped 4 point the Nasdaq dropped 4.29%, or 6.09% today.
Okay. Yeah, actually, this would be a day especially that we'd see a nice big.
because people are opening up their Wall Street Journals either in person or on the app, and then suddenly they're on their way to go do business investments for their companies, and they see the words Bobby Kotick on the front page, and he's not holding a puppy or a trophy or a happy employee. Nope.
More like rigor mortis. What did we decide for Citadel? I mean, Dave, you're cool, but I unfortunately there will not be a Citadel tonight. I would like to, but I'm a little too worn out for reasons that I don't feel like going into on the show, and I would worry about driving back home, etc. at the end. So I apologize. There will be no Citadel tonight. Which normally I'd be like, oh, well, that lets us talk longer about this, but we're at about our normal wrap time. I don't know how much more we had to say other than fuck you, Bobby.
All right, we'll close it on that then.
No, if there's more, I apologize.
It's fine. We'll shut it off for the night. We'll shut it down.
It's
blow me, Bobby Kotick.
It's going to be interesting because again, this report came out today, and we are reporting on these things as they happen. Again, an Activision rep said like this is at worst untrue, at best unfaithful to what the reality is, because of course they would say that. And it'll be interesting to see what the walkout achieves. Bobby's job is more perilous now than it has been for a very long time. I don't think that we're going to see him dethroned from CEO next week, but I also do think it's possible. Maybe 20% possible or something like that. I don't know.
Don't know how it works for removal of CEOs, but it doesn't look good when they're doing press releases on a person that they have previously called for action against him. That same board have bankruptcy.
I don't think we're going to see that because I think that getting rid of Kotick is going to be one of those things that like, oh God, we're headed for really bad financial things. Throw him overboard. He's a bit too much ballast.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, I kind of hate covering the same topic week after week. And on the other hand, this is a really rapidly developing story. What's happening with Activision Blizzard. And it's really important from a perspective of not just in the games industry, but in general, boys clubs are more and more coming under attack from the rest of society. Rightly so, I would say. And it's interesting to see how this one puts up its defenses, tries to withstand the siege, and hopefully falls apart. But we'll see. I've never claimed to not be biased. I wear my biases on my sleeve. You know where I'm coming from. As much as we report the news, we are an opinion show, and opinions do not represent the network, and etc., etc., etc. But damn, Bobby, but you keep things interesting.
We'll continue to cover this story and so many others as things develops. You can be part of the story and part of the streams by making sure to comment down below in chat while we're streaming. Be a part of the Insane Games TV Discord. There is a Nerd Glasses section. There is a Citadel section. There is a Weekend Wednesday section, and so much going on. Make sure that you're not just missing out on the train as it goes past. Make sure to hit that follow button, subscribe, get yourself that mic face emote.
Yep.
Podcasts are lots of feelings on things.
It's true. It's true. We have feelings and we share them. And thank you all so much for listening to our feelings on things. It's a lot of fun for us to, be here and talk to a camera, but it's a lot more fun when those of you out there are participating in the conversation, either during the show or after the show on Discord. On Discord, there is a channel for tabled topics, and there I will be dropping something tomorrow where some drama happened with the YouTube channel and cryptocurrency, because, of course, we couldn't go 1 week without cryptocurrency or NFTs being at least a tabled topic.
Yeah.
Actually, I give it credit for being tabled this week and not being so big that I had to be on the show. Yeah, so we'll do that. Table topics are in the Discord, and we'll keep everyone updated on how Activision Blizzard is going. So, Dave, did you have any more to add on ActiBliz or any other topics?
Oh, no. Definitely make sure to keep it tuned in here on Insane Games and Insane Games TV. Join us, Insane Games, at the Saratoga Comic-Con this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a really exciting occasion. I always have a great time. I know Mike and Dan are really excited. We're going to be setting up our booth Friday night, and then Saturday opening and hanging out with you folks Friday and Saturday here in Saratoga Springs. More information at Saratoga Comic-Con. We look forward and hope to see you then and there. Maybe you have an opinion on Bobby Kotick. Make sure to come to the convention or the store, see Steve, and tell us about it.
Awesome. In the meantime, again, there will be no Citadel tonight, but we will be back next week starting at 7 o'clock Eastern with the Nerd Glasses podcast right here. In the meantime, make sure that as you follow, you are here for all of the awesome programs that we've got tomorrow. We've got the Dream Team Wetro Wednesday and Weekend Wednesday, and just like every weekday, it follows OC5 Remix starting at 2 o'clock Eastern right here at Insane Games TV. In the meantime, folks, thank you so much for watching. We love it every single week, and we'll see you next time. Bye!